Episode 9 of Twin Turbo Tuesday then. Well overdue this episode. As you can see, nothing to show you on the dummy build car. It's all been removed. I am done with this car now. Obviously quite a few bits have been removed and sent off to customers as they've required spares, and this car has been stripped for them. So this car will now get stripped down and other things put into stock. The engine will go into core material. As you can see though, I've got the list here. A few things have been struck off since last episode, but we can now strike off as well, which I'm going to try and do left-handed. Air temp sensor, that's done. Heat shields, I'm going to call that done. I've made the one for the bottom of the sump, and I've ordered turbo jackets for the turbos. Ceramic coating, the exhaust pipe work is going to go away from that, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Turbo oil and water, we're not worrying too much about that because I'm going to make the pipes on my car. Boost controller I've now got, again going to install on my car obviously. Bonnet insulation I have and will be putting on my bonnet, so that will get transferred over to my list. Pressure test exhaust, I did that at the weekend, and the inlet manifold and inlet pipe work I pressure tested as well. So that does sort of conclude what I'm doing on this car. I've got everything laid out, and I'll pop the camera on the stand and we'll go through what we've got so far. Right, so pretty much what we've got here is a twin turbo conversion kit for a Thor P38 Range Rover. I say Thor because obviously the GEMS intake is different, so induction pipe work would have to change, and I think it would also need to change to avoid some of the aircon pipe work. Anyhow, obviously my car's a Thor and that's what it's been built for. So starting at the front of the engine, on the exhaust side we've got a P38 driver's side or right hand side manifold with a modified flange on it, just basically different angle. And the manifold for the passenger side is obviously custom built to support the passenger side turbo. Driver's side exhaust passes down and under the engine and then up to what I'm calling the up pipe, which is supported by this bracket off of the engine mount, and then supports the driver's side turbo but on the passenger side of the engine. Exhaust gases from the turbos are then going to go down the downpipes, which have obviously got our standard lambda ports in and also a third lambda port, so that when we're dyno tuning we can put a wideband lambda in there for correct tuning, because Thor ECUs just run narrowband lambda. Off the back of that it's all 3-inch, going through the 3-inch centre pipe with the old silencer off my Discovery before it got turned into the Discovery, and then the rear pipe with a 3-inch finisher, which I'll cut to length and weld on when I'm on my car, because the dummy car didn't have a rear bumper on when I was building the exhaust system. Obviously the turbos need oil and water, so I've got the water fittings, and obviously it's just going to be rubber water hose to them, and then a whole bunch of AN fittings to get oil to the turbos and from them via the braided stainless hose. So running a combination of -6, -4 and -10 pipe work there and fittings. -6 will come from the timing cover, which will go up to a Y piece, to then -4 pipes to feed oil to the turbos, and then -10 to return back down to the sump. Obviously I've already got the -10 fittings on my sump fitted on my car as per previous videos. Breather system, going to have a catch can on there, and obviously just both rocker covers Y-pieced into there, down into pre-turbo pipe work, so we've got vacuum for the breather system. Fueling side, there's one piece missing from this picture, which is the fuel pump, because I am going to upgrade that. I've got a Walbro, I think it's a 340 or 350 litre per hour fuel pump, hopefully going to be on its way soon. I'm just emailing the company to find out about delivery because they're in America. A Bosch 4-bar fuel pressure regulator, Bosch multi-point, I think they're 12-point injectors, we did previously show these, and then because they run a different electrical plug, full set of brand new injector plugs to put onto my wiring loom to make the job nice and neat, rather than running little adapter looms, which are also available but just adds complexity and more items, more cause for possible electrical faults in terms of bad connections. Also, I'm going to be modifying the position of my LPG injector nozzles. Done forced induction engines before on obviously we gas convert supercharged Range Rovers, but also I've had Japanese turbo cars before and LPG converted them, and injector nozzle on forced induction for LPG is quite critical, definitely a lot more so than on naturally aspirated engine. So I'm going to be redoing that, and I'm also modifying my injectors, so I'm getting effectively a larger LPG injector, so that'll be sort of custom modified as well. Induction pipe work, well, this is it basically. I've started to polish it. That's all Holly's fault. So he said you're going to have to polish that even if it's just for a picture, and I'm not doing it to his standard. He would be getting this without any imperfections in it. I'm just doing it so we do get that nice picture, because then I'll probably go green laning and get mud on it, or towing the KA into an off-roading site. It's bound to still get muddy anyway and splashed, so it's still going to look nice though. Obviously there's a range of silicon joiners and a Bosch airflow meter, which is larger than the 4.6 version. You'll notice on the list I crossed out inner child, installing the inner child. We've gone for the middle-aged sensible version, which is a recirculating valve rather than a dump valve. The reason for that is it's very difficult to get correct fueling at idle sometimes via a MAF setup with a dump valve installed, because the dump valve can just be partially open when you've got vacuum in the intake at tick over, which means you get unmetered air coming through, and obviously causes the engine to stall potentially and that sort of thing. Whereas a recirculating valve, it's a sealed system still, and all the air is being drawn in through the airflow meter, so all those problems disappear. Obviously, charge cooler setup needs coolant. I'm not running engine coolant through it. I'm going to have a completely separate coolant system, so we've got the header tank here for that system, the charge cooling radiator, and the Bosch water pump for it as well. So I think that pretty much covers what we've done so far, where we're at. I've got brackets to make for the charge cooler setup, the water pump, the breather system, etc. But all of that I'm going to do on my car as this gets installed on my car. The exhaust system, or parts of it, are now going to go off the ceramic coating. So the manifolds, the crossover pipe, the up pipe, and the down pipes are going to head off now for ceramic coating. Hopefully by the time they're done, the fuel pump will turn up, and the turbo jackets as well. Hopefully they'll be here. So then it'll be pretty much ready to go on the car. The next episode, episode 10 of this, fingers crossed, will be me fitting the fueling side of things to my car, so that's all there in readiness for this to be bolted on, and then I can go and get it mapped. Yeah, I'm sure I've forgotten something, and I'll find out when I go to fit the car. Oh, boost controller. These actuators are at 0.3 bar. I'm initially aiming to run about 6 psi, which is about 0.45 bar, so not a massive increase. You can't get a spring or a different actuator with different springs to achieve that setting. I think you can get 0.5 bar, which is 7 or 8 psi off the top of my head, which I may end up running depending on how the engine responds to boost on tuning. But for now I've got a GFB boost controller, which I'll obviously be installing so we can control boost on the turbos. I think that's it. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so thanks for watching all of this up to date, and the next episode will come along when I'm ready, basically. Once I've got all of this stuff done and on my car, I'll film it as I go. Episode 11 and 12 will hopefully will be starting engines with turbos on, but we'll see. We'll take it as it comes. Thanks for watching again, catch you later.